There are so many high quality, low cost, so budget friendly items out there that are waiting to be thrifted and repurposed to help you organize those disorganized and dysfunctional areas in your home. I am Rachel. This is Are You Ready To? Welcome, welcome, welcome to my channel. I am so glad you're here, and I can't wait to show you all those items I've been out there thrifting to help me reorganize and repurpose this pantry behind me. Yes, it doesn't look so bad from this angle, right? But I'm about to give you a better look at it. It's pretty bad. I can't find anything. I just have random stuff sitting around. It's very dysfunctional. Let's get started. I hope you stick around. I feel like a lot of us have those spaces in our homes that we just throw stuff in, shut the door, and forget about. That is exactly what my pantry space has become. And there's a good amount of space in here that I am just not taking advantage of. I can't even step into the pantry. I have items on the floor, items behind items on the floor, an unsturdy desk with one plastic shelf from a plastic shelving system filled with more items and items behind those items. It's just not working. There are some things that are working. My food storage drums, I love those. They just need labels. And I love all of my previously thrifted finds, like the strawberry pictures, the plates on the wall, my vintage flour and tea canisters. They have my paper plates and plastic utensils in them. It works great. And all of my wooden pieces I love, so that's what I'm going to be looking for while I'm out there thrifting. Solid wood pieces and items that will work with what is already working in my pantry. So let's go. I am sure you have all seen a lot of magazine racks and newspaper racks while you are out there thrifting, because a lot of us get our news online now. So I picked up two pieces. This first piece was $1.75 on sale, and for $1.99, look at this solid wooden piece. Absolutely gorgeous. I picked that up along with this teddy bear box. Now, the teddy bear is not really my style, but I can cover that up. And just the materials alone are worth the $2.99 price tag. So that came home with me as well. Moving on to a different location, I found a dough box. This is amazing. Absolutely solid and beautiful. It's going to work perfect in my pantry. I cannot wait to get that home. And it was under $7. Another great solid piece with a really nice rope handle. I absolutely love this. I love the apples on the front. Everything is perfect about it, and so is the $6.99 price tag. Now this piece, again, solid wood, but I'm not so sure about the heart. We'll see. Maybe I can work with it. Maybe I'll take it off, but I'm definitely buying that for $3.99. Baskets are a must for organization. I love these baskets. They're $1 each. I can at least use a couple of those. And at a flea market, I picked up these beautiful glass vintage canisters. I have been using them in the pantry already, and I wonder if these were kind of my inspiration that sparked something in me to get organized. So I was happy to find those previously. And I won these shelves at an auction. I was bid up a bit, so this is my highest priced item for $46 and some change. Still a great deal though. Now that I got everything home, my wheels are really turning on how I'm going to utilize all of these great thrifted finds. Finding all of these great thrift items was the easy part for me. Now on to the hard work. So first thing is first, before I can empty my pantry and get all of my thrifted items in there. I need to get all of my thrifted items nice and clean, and I'm going to start with the baskets. I'm going to wash them in hot soapy water and then put them out in the sun to get nice and dry. I mean, just look how solid this piece is. I feel like the prices were great. The items are wonderful. So let's get started on cleaning everything up. I always make sure to flip my thrifted items over and clean the bottoms of them really well because you don't know where they were previously stored. And especially when they're wooden pieces or furniture pieces, you really got to get in there and clean them really well. I stopped while I was out at my local Dollar Tree to pick up some chalkboard sticker labels, metal tags, and those removable tile pieces you see there to cover up the bear on that wooden box. I was not super confident with this idea, and for good reason. It was a project super fail. However, the tiles did provide a good backdrop to cover with the chalkboard stickers that I then rubbed chalk all over and rubbed into that sticker. So it would give it kind of like a worn look. It's a good temporary fix. I am super happy with how it turned out for now. Once everything was cleaned, I brought up my table because it is now time to start unloading my pantry. As you can see, I do have a smaller pantry closet right next to my larger pantry, and I end up doing something with that as well, but that's later on in this video. For right now, let's get to work on taking everything out of the pantry so I can sort through my items, clean my pantry, and get all of my thrifted finds in there. I can't believe how many empty containers I had in there. I am sure I had some purpose in mind for them when I initially chose to save them, which I can't remember. I don't know, maybe not. Either way, they gotta go because they were just taking up space. It felt really great to take that plastic shelf out of there. And next, it's time to tackle that floor space. While working on projects like these, it's really helpful to take notes and jot down any ideas that come to mind. Also, make lists of items that you need to restock. For me, I always think I'm going to remember all these things, but there's so much going on during a project that it's just so much more helpful for me to write everything down. I got to a really great place here. I can now see everything so much better. I can get a great look at the space. I need to remove the pans that are sloppy stacked in the corner and remove those broom hangers. I have to show you something though. I have been looking for my s'mores container. I could not find it, and I almost bought another one at a Goodwill a couple weeks ago. So I was so happy to find it. I mean, where else would it be than under a duster mop on top of random useless plastic pieces of some sort on the floor of my pantry? Once I finally got the rest of those items out of the pantry, including that very unsturdy desk table, I could really give everything a nice cleaning. I wiped down all the walls, the baseboards, I mopped the floor, and now everything that you see here is everything that's staying in this pantry, and I can move in my shelves. Look at how perfect they are in this space. I just love them so much. I can actually step into this pantry with the shelf in here, unlike before when I had that very unsturdy desk with the plastic shelves. I am so happy. I am so glad I kept bidding up a little bit to win these shelves. Now I need to sort through all of those items that I took out of this pantry before I can then move in the rest of my thrifted finds. So let's get to sorting, emptying things in containers, labeling everything, and finally making some labels for those food storage buckets. I am sure that a lot of you can relate to what I'm about to say. Projects like this, you can always come to a certain point where you're exhausted. Some of your ideas took way longer than you had anticipated, and you're just not feeling it. You're thinking, why did I open this can of worms? Well, that's exactly how I was feeling when I started moving my food items back into this pantry. I wasn't feeling it. I didn't like the look of it. I was thinking it's going to be dysfunctional once again. But after a good night's sleep, I came up with a solution. Do you remember the smaller pantry closet I said I would get back to? Well, that smaller pantry houses all of my baking dishes and my small appliances. It is disorganized. The items are hard to get to. So my solution is I'm going to move all of my small appliances to my larger pantry, and then I'm going to store my food items in the smaller pantry. Now all is well with this project once again, and I can get to labeling my thrifted baskets. There are so many low cost and beautiful baskets out there just waiting to be thrifted. However, it is next to impossible to stick a label directly on a basket, and I really wanted to label my basket. So what I did here, which I think was a very low cost and very easy solution, was I tied my metal tag directly to the basket, applied that chalkboard sticker. This label worked perfectly in the end, and it would work with any basket that needs a label. And let's take a quick look at my larger pantry shelves before moving over to my smaller pantry and stocking that up with all the food. What a great decision. I can now go into my pantry, grab one of my appliances like my crock pot without having to move stuff off of a pile just to get to it. When organizing this smaller pantry, I made sure to use shelves and other items from that larger pantry that I just no longer needed in there. And I also made sure to leave an open space on the top shelf for my paper towels because I need to restock those. Here's a reminder what it looked like before. And here is a look at my newly organized and much more functional, smaller pantry closet. Now on to the fun part. Let's move all of the rest of my thrifted finds into my larger pantry. My favorite part of this thrifted pantry organization project has got to be what I now refer to as my baking corner. Do you remember this beautiful solid wood dough box? Well, I couldn't have planned this out any better, and I didn't plan it out, so I'm glad it worked out this way, but it fits perfectly in the corner of my pantry and now stores all of my baking supplies in my new baking corner. That outside rack is perfect for storing my cooling racks and my more frequently used baking tins. And remember this wooden bear box that I gave a little mini makeover to? Well, that also stores my baking items, and it fits perfectly on top of my dough box. So for less than $10, I was able to get 2 great solid pieces for my new baking corner. How exciting is that? And there's some room to spare both in that dough box and that wooden bear box, so I have some room to grow here. Now moving on to how I used that wooden box shelf with the little heart on the front of it. It fits perfectly in front of my dough box, and I use it as space-saving storage for all of my grill utensils. Speaking of saving space, large serving dishes take up a lot of space. So this $1.75 thrifted find, originally meant for newspapers and magazines, now serves as a sturdy space saver for all of my large serving dishes. After adding a very hefty hook to my pantry wall, I was able to hang my decorative yet functional thrifted wooden box. It's great for added storage, and for now I'm going to put my reusable plastic shopping bags in it. I really love the look of this box hanging from my pantry wall. I also hung up a previously thrifted basket for my scoop. Now I will not be misplacing that scoop any longer. In the end, I decided to use my $2 thrifted wooden book rack in another pantry I have inside my kitchen, also as a space saver, to store all of my extra large baking sheets. And do you remember those metal trays that I had inside my larger pantry? Well, they now add a decorative touch to my open storage shelves under my island cart. I really like how they look there, and I was glad I was able to utilize those in a different part of my house. There is one more thing that I need to do before showing you the larger pantry final before and after, and that is remove this wooden heart-shaped piece. It was just really bugging me, so I had to remove it, and then I added a chalkboard sticker to the front of it so it would match my made-over wooden bear box. I really like how it turned out in the end. It matches. It just looks a lot nicer. And then when I finish this, I will move on to the Thrifted Pantry Organization Project final before and after. now that the wooden heart is no longer bugging me, it is time for the larger pantry final reveal. Here's a reminder of what the pantry looked like before I started this thrifted pantry organization project. And here is what my pantry now looks like. This pantry is organized, it's fully functional, no more wasted space. I can walk into this pantry now. There's still a little floor space to spare, and I just love it. I would love to know what your favorite thrifted item I used in this project was, and I think you already know what I'm going to say, but like I said before, my favorite part of this thrifted pantry organization project / mini makeover has to be that new baking corner. I hope you had a fun time watching this thrifted pantry organization / mini makeover, because I had so much fun making this video. And let me tell you, in the end, for under $90, I was able to organize not one, but 2 closet pantries. And I was able to do that because I used high quality, low cost thrifted items and repurposed them to help me get organized in these spaces. I would love to hear how you repurpose some of those thrifted items that you find out there to help you get organized. And once again, I am so glad you're here. Welcome to my home. Welcome to my channel. Are you ready to? My name is Rachel, and I hope to see you next time.